Hang on. Just shut the door. She won't notice. She doesn't need to notice. I've got Felix and Pavati, both of my lockpicks. And I have enough. It'll cost 3 lockpicks, but I now have enough to break in and not have the master bedroom keycard. So we can look at the master bedroom. But there's nothing in here. I'm not going to sleep in a bed. I assume this is where Wilhelmina is now sleeping. There's nothing in here, is there? Hold on. Okay. Oh, there's a gun called Doctor's Orders, and there's a... Well, there's a bunch of valuables, but more importantly, there seems to be another one of these cylinder records.
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter
Olivia's
finds you
goodbye.
well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Oh, no, that's worse.
Work it out, Olivia. You only got so much space on the cylinder.
She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, that doesn't get me anywhere, but it is interesting. I do know that whatever she did... I'm just gonna... Come on, guys, get out.
Got it.
So, I'm not gonna steal anything more from in there. I'm not a dickhead.
In a jiff.
But... I do know... She said something about... What did she say? Something about what has to happen, or was written on the terminal there. I'll remember it eventually. But there is some suspicion that she was up to something more than just doing, like, a research. That there is something extremely... I don't want to say perfidious, but possibly untoward going on. Almost certainly there is, but she was going to do something. Either she's, like, committed suicide and blown up the whole facility for some reason, because she had a change of heart, or she's actively trying to push through whatever research they've got going on down there. But it's time to actually have a look and not focus around. But I couldn't get through that door. I wanted to check if I had enough lockpick with the right companions. Alright, we gotta take off and go over there a little bit. So, we're going to the Gorgon landing pad. Apparently there is a settlement here. Yeah, okay, so there's the manor I was just at, and there's Gorgon proper. It's actually got a big bubble around it, and then all the little bits and pieces of the map. I can almost, like, trace it out from up here. Alright, Ellie and Felix are my team for this DLC, so...
Please avoid damaging yourself or others while you're out.
I'll do my best, Ada, thank you. Alright, Ellie... And let's do this.
This ain't a proper serial adventure without a narrator. How about this? Our intrepid heroes stepped foot on Gorgon, and in the distance, a drinking establishment beckoned.
Beckoned? An establishment beckoned? With what? That's the wrong term. I suppose you could metaphorically beckon, but you haven't got a flair for the... for prose. Well, there's an alarm here. It's going whoop. Might have been evacuated, actually. There's a Sprat there, but I don't think that's one of the dangerous ones. Of course, they're still advertising even in the evacuation. Let me have a look around the pad. You said there'd be rough crowds here, Ellie. I'm disappointed at the complete emptiness here. Though, in fairness, for an evacuated facility, I should have expected this. Alright, let's check the ship terminal, and then we'll move on. Oh, there is stuff over here. I want to steal stuff from the decks of landing pads. It costs me nothing. Tossball card, Branson Rossa. Haven't I got that 1,000 times over, so as well as that ship model? Which I can't even put down in my my quarters, so far as I can tell. Alright. I would have read that. I've got enough hack to disable the emergency evacuation notice. Insert captain's identification cartridge to initiate remote landing. So if I lose my ship... No, I can bring it back here, but I could always do that. Alright, let's just turn off the evacuation notice. We got it. That is just a perfectly friendly Sprat. But I think weapons are called for, now that we're on the surface, because there are supposed to be nasties around. And shimmering blue stuff. What is that even supposed to be? It's a force field. Got it. It looked like a tank of something. A couple of Drinos, a bypass shunt, and a bit cartridge. Shall I sell stuff? Is there anything junk I can sell? Yeah, sell all this. Okay. I'm good. Oh, so we need to go up to the Sprat Shack lead, and there's the drinking establishment beckoning at us. Yeah, no, that's definitely not beckoning. That's fallen over, but it might be supposed to look like that, because it kind of is embedded in that wall. But, oh, yay. Mag picks. And ammo, I already have. Hello, human being. Really? Who are you selling to? I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but there's nobody friggin' around here. Doesn't seem like a profitable venture. How's it going? Khalil Chakroon?
Is that what my thoughts sound like? Look, I've been standing near that alarm too long.
I can hear himself think.
Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon's far reaches, there ain't no one around here liable to help you out.
There doesn't seem to be many people around here in general. I take it the evacuation alarm wasn't urgent.
Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap project Gorgon from years back.
And no one turned off the alarm in years.
I'd lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer.
Couldn't you have moved away from the incessant alarm? I'm impressed something Space's Choice build lasted 5 years. I really want to ask, did you forget how to walk, or were you too dumb to think to stand elsewhere? Let's just take the nice approach. Couldn't you have moved away? Are you bolted to the ground?
This is the perfect spot for trading. Would have been better without being told to evacuate all the time, but the control terminal wouldn't listen to physical persuasion.
Oh, you did try.
I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball.
Okay, so this is Gorgon.
You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten.
Give him your best unimpressed look. Sure, yeah, no, I'll give him my best unimpressed look. I wonder what that is.
You okay? Does your stomach hurt or something? Look, I ain't stopping you from
I think I
wandering
mixed
elsewhere.
up unimpressed
But
with
if you do,
recently eaten a bad
be sure
oyster.
You watch out for the marauders. That's the #1 thing. And the manse, I guess.
More mantises.
You watch out for marauders, manse, and Charles from accounting.
See, Charles from
and
accounting
you'll
I'm actually
probably be
worried
fine.
about, but the other two I've dealt with thousands of them. Who's Charles from accounting?
Only the meanest marauder on Gorgon. And also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite. He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles.
I'm waiting for the penny to drop. You're making me hungry.
Sorry. Been a minute since I last ate. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles.
I've heard he can cut a man's head off with nothing more than a spreadsheet. 0 times 3 is still 0.
It is? Wow. You learn something new
Yes,
every day.
Felix, it is.
You ain't listening to me, huh? Well, I warned you. If you run off and get exploded to death by a madman with a rocket launcher now, that's on you.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take it. Also, your hair and facial hair is your hair and beard is a lot like mine. Go back to the part about the rocket launcher. Okay, can you tell me more about Project Gorgon?
Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From
People
what
still
I heard,
hung around on the
some of their
asteroid,
folks
though.
got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well.
You think either Harvey or Olivia are still going to be on here? Okay, what have you got for sale?
Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before. Could be awful useful if you're the violent type.
I am, but I'm not really the melee type, that's the problem. How much is this new pickaxe going to cost me? No, those are earrings. Oh, there it is. 4,000 for a handy deconstruction tool from Spacer's Choice. Yeah, maybe I could give it to someone, but it's only got 57 DPS. I think I've got, like, tossball sticks better than that. See, this one costs less and does a higher DPS. I don't know what the magic upgrade to that would be. Like, attacks in this weapon deal bonus damage to auto mechanicals. But anyway, I'm good. I will not look at your workbench. I'll deal with that probably in between recordings, so I don't have to annoy everyone with me going, like, deliberately through my modifications. I'm just gonna look in your... Presumably this is your little cot. Look at the bed here. Bit cartridges. I'd be stealing from here. You know, yeah. My instinct is to steal everything, but I'm still trying to be a nice guy in this game. It's, like, really... Serialized Law and Organization Guardian, cool. It's really, like, going against my just fundamental basic instincts. I'll take up these armor parts. Yeah, I'll steal some ammo. It's just lying around. It's every man for himself. Someone else should have looted that. And that comes around. Alright, let's go straight to the Sprat Shack. This really does look like it's fallen over, but I'm like 90% certain it's supposed to look like that. But it's hard to tell. Oh no, it's a transition spot. Hello, patron. Patron. Von Hoffman. Hiya. Do you know who I am? You can't have been expecting me.
Alright, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now.
You blinked. Come on, that was... Keep looking into his eyes.
Good. Look up. Now look down.
Keep looking. You have pretty eyes.
Thank you. Got him from my mother. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation.
Marcus Ashikaga, Captain of the Unreliable. I always like to tell the truth.
Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack.
Well, the night is young.
Head on downstairs.
Okay. Okay, what do you mean when you said people have changed? Do they have a habit of doing that?
Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better.
What happens when people change?
First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty.
So paranoia, soiling yourself, animal. Got it. Where am I exactly?
This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting.
Okay.
Rule number 2,
So it's
wipe
supposed to
your
be
feet
rough,
on the
Ellie.
way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way.
Feels a bit like pissing in the
That's
wind,
why we
frankly.
have rule number 3. When people change, They stay outside, where they belong.
So they become marauders, presumably. Let me ask you something else.
Just don't ask me to dance.
Oh, well, there goes my... there goes my plan. Alright, so what do you do around here except for check people's sanity?
Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
And I thought this place was gonna be fun.
Yeah, me too, Ellie.
Highest caliber of what? Is he talking about guns?
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt.
I get the feeling, when I picked up Felix, I didn't realize quite how much of a himbo he is. He's cute, but a little stupid. What kind of people come to the Sprat Shack? What is the highest clientele?
This is a Sublight bar.
Of course
So
it
most
is.
of our
I should have
regulars come
guessed.
to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress
literally?
is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate, then venture out and try again.
So what do you know of Gorgon?
Something bad happened here. Spacer's choice was
Which would be what's
developing
changing
chemicals,
people. Mind
the
control?
kind with nasty
Experimentation?
side effects.
Can this colony have one research facility developing something without horrible, face-melting side effects? Is that so much to ask?
No. Well,
Marauders
yeah, I would say that
outnumber
is
the
quite a lot
rest
to
of us
ask.
10 to 1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar.
Well, you can always trust someone called Lex.
If you're heading downstairs, order something sweet.
Well, thanks for the recommendation. Don't steal bypass shunts, though I'd like to. Okay, go downstairs and order something sweet.
Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place.
A little orderly, though.
Looks like a real dive. Hey, I wonder if they got those floorboards that creak when a stranger walks in.
Okay, well, let's try it. No. Actually, really sturdy floorboards. Isn't that? You would be Lex. Okay. I was expecting someone more bold.
Sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain someone about a certain piece of merchandise. They're supposed to use a secret code phrase.
You guys mind if I watch
Can't
you
help
with
you.
your secret
I'm
conversation?
just here to drink.
That's the code phrase. It is you.
Quiet down. You're making a scene.
Everything good, guys? Alright. We got some side rooms I won't go into yet. Let me just explore upstairs a smidge.
Groundbreaker never had bars this nice. They got balconies and everything.
I wouldn't get too close to that railing. Just in case.
Can we do that thing where when one of us gets shot and we sort of flip over the railing somehow? Despite our body mass probably being below our belly button, so... Like, center of mass, so you wouldn't actually do that, you just sort of fall down and slump. I've always liked that. A lot of very top-heavy people in old Western movies. Okay, let's talk to the barkeep. I'm not entirely sure I understand why you need an elevator to deliver you to the bottom, and then a bunch of stairs get you to the top, but apparently no way to access them via the top. I mean, this isn't exactly... Hey, I'd like to talk about your wheelchair accessibility.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack.
She just
First
zooped
one's on
up.
the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be?
Wine, purple berry. I'm in a chipper mood. Yeah, go on, purple berry wine.
Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage.
I can lie about it, sure. Got any leads? That sounds like... I think I should start by lying. That's always a good way to lead off.
Even if I did, I ain't supposed to play favorites. Most of my regulars are Sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious
Well, I'm with
cycle.
Sublight.
That's
Am I still with Sublight? I can't remember how that ended.
First new face I've seen in a while.
Okay. So, just basic chat. Then I'll get to the point.
Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock. They say
Lovely.
adrenatime came from here. just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day.
Would any of your regulars... do you have any idea why Spacer's Choice might have shut Gorgon down?
I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous.
I've used Adrenas. I don't know if I use Adrenatime. I'm not sure. I can't remember what that is. If it's a consumable, I probably haven't used it. Okay. Any of your regulars have any more information?
Roscoe might tell you more.
Roscoe.
I spent some time around here before the bar opened up. I trust him well enough.
I should go back to playing
There's
Starfield
Leonora,
at some point.
my favorite customer over in the storage room on the second floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab.
Oh, those are nice. Alright, Roscoe, start with him.
He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he was some kind of journalist.
Probably a
He got
lie.
left behind when
I'm
Spacer's
lying to you,
Choice
so...
pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get him.
What, he can't get off? There's I just landed a big fuck off ship down here. Couldn't I haul a few people off if they wanted to get out? I don't know. You looking out for him?
Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels to get left behind.
You gotta be
He'll
careful
be
maintaining your
alright.
business with that
He's
kind
with the
of
family
attitude.
now, and we take care of our own.
Oh, the family. Very good. You have a little commune here, apparently. Why did you get left behind?
He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender, not his human resources rep.
You said you were his
If
family.
you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes that's all there is to it.
Yep. Par for the course. What can you tell me about Leonora?
Nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublight, but seems to know the lay of the land better than anyone.
Okay.
She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open to a side gig.
I am open to a side gig. So what do you know, do you know if she spoke with Lucky Montoya at all?
You know Lucky? Small asteroid.
It is a very small asteroid, that's
Now
true.
that you mention it, I thought I saw those two sharing stories over a pint. Didn't think twice about it. I don't speak ill of the dead, but Leonora deserves better company.
You know he's
That
dead
Lucky
as well.
was no good for her.
So you knew Lucky, and you apparently know that he's dead.
Lucky? Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a
You
dangerous
said he was a bad
job.
influence.
Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation.
Office
Just
of
down the
Creative
road.
Incubation, okay. Office of Creative Incubation?
That's where the top rungers at Spacer's Choice came up with slogans and marketing. Lucky never told me why it was so important. Awful shame about what happened to him.
I know about the severed arm, but the rest is mystery.
You know about that? Huh. Word must travel fast around these parts.
Severed arms
Last
travel
I
very
saw of
fast around
Lucky
these
was
parts.
A few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off.
I hate canids.
I'm an animal lover myself, but canids have temperament issues you just can't breed out. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named
Did you
Alex
send it?
Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent
Suppose
the
you
bar.
knew the
So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp.
So I have you to thank for that. The arm, I'll let you know, the arm made it to, I think you'd like to know where it went. The arm made it to me. I'm Hawthorne's next of kin. Sort of.
No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some
That was a
days.
fairly small point the dots situation.
I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of
Can't believe
events, you know?
the first
Stars
person I
really
pretty much
aligned on
walk
this
into
one.
on this place.
And here I am, smack dab in the middle.
Yep, you're part of events. Welcome to them. You know, we've got t-shirts. Why bother sending the arm at all?
I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business.
Alright, where was Lucky staying?
3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind.
Thank you, I will.
Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me.
Okay, just remind me not to bring a blacklight into that place. So, you run this place?
Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge.
So Sublight owns a Sprat Shack now?
Yes and no.
Well, they're squatting in the Sprat Shack.
Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea.
Dare I ask why a Sprat owns this bar? I mean, if you have to put it on to some kind of list, but then you surely want a person there who can sign off on it. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds perfectly reasonable.
I've seen the paperwork. Everything's in order. When I say my boss is a filthy sprat, I'm not exaggerating. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but same idea.
Hey, Sprats can be real dangerous. I once saw a Sprat cross a guy off. Well, not exactly. Guy I worked with choked on a Sprat bone while he was having his usual salt tuna for lunch.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules.
Well, yeah. I'm sure there's nothing in the legal system that says a Sprat can't own a bar. How would you even know? Okay. Fascinating. Thanks for the legal insight. I'm not going to go too far into it.
Arrangements go, this one's a head scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what
Oh,
matters.
well, if they say it, then it's good. If Sublight, known for being kind of under the radar, says it's all above board, then I'm sure it is. And you're not going to be arrested and dragged off the next time one of the corps has a sticky beak in here. Okay, does Spacer's Choice mind that you're squatting in their warehouse?
Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential.
Can you answer any questions without starting yes and no?
Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble in my place.
Okay. You're giving out a lot of information. I mean, you start vague, but then you get pretty specific. So you might want to work on that. How do you get supplies in and out?
Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony. Mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well-connected. And not everyone pays with bits. That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well-stocked with the essentials. By which I mean booze.
I'm getting a lot of information about the business side of your little venture here. More than I strictly need to, I think, on this occasion. But thank you very much for all that information. Alright. Nice chat. A little off topic, but it's all cool. I'm looking for someone called...
humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully
Freddy
mine,
and
tangle-footed dimwit.
Trixie.
I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
Dare I even talk to these two? They're not who I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone named Roscoe and someone named Leonora.
Did you bring the payment?
I don't know. Did you bring the goods?
No payment, no goods.
Give me a taste of the goods. Just so I know.
Okay, could you quiet down your drug deal here?
Did you bring the payment?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a lot out here.
Did you bring the goods?
Back and forth. I'm having a look outside. All these sprats just hanging around. Let's not murder them all. Full piece of armor right here, but I've like the armor we're wearing. Actually, we're not wearing at the moment, but we could be wearing. Is like 63 elite troop armor, gold and that sort of thing. MSI armor. You know, good shit. So, I mean, this would do alright. Hephaestus. Reconstructed heavy power armor, but, you know. If we start coming into difficulties, I might upgrade the armor a bit further. Oh, hello, I'm behind the bar now. Excuse me, let me just get over there. Alright, the kitchen, of which there are sprats inside, naturally. Alright, I need to find vending machine discovered. I got 750 XP for that. I'll talk to Freddy and Trixie later. But I don't see anyone called...
So, how you feeling?
Good. Real good, like someone's shining a light.
Got any more of that?
Oh, God. Okay. Is this... I don't know... I've got a workbench in here. Is this one of mine? This is barred from the inside. Where the hell is the people I was looking for? You mentioned... Oh, no. Lucky's case notes. Okay, this is where I was going. This is Lucky's room. I figured it might be, but... It didn't say. Requires the code to unlock. Okay. Lucky's case notes. Let's start with that. Actually, we'll take the mag pick first. Day 1. Spacer's Choice may have left in a hurry, but they didn't forget to lock the doors on the way out. Most of the facilities are sealed up tighter than a top runger's safe. Time to do some digging. Day 6. Caught a break today. Met a scavenger who claims to be a salesman for Spacer's Choice. Sold me a key to the Office of Creative Incubation. Let's just say this guy's about as lucid as a Sprat in a Rizzo's facility. But I'm spending Minnie's bits, so I can afford to take a chance. Day 7. It worked. Clarence. Oh. Clarence, mostly. What? Whoever you are, I'm drinking to you tonight. Day 10. Olivia Ambrose's office and journal ought to be in the Synthesis and Manufacturing Center. This bad news... The bad news is it's sealed up and at the arse end of the canyon. The good news is I should be able to open it from the bigwig's admin terminal in OCI. Day 13. OCI is crawling with marauders, and I've got a few other leads to chase down. Could be nothing, but my gut tells me there's more to this place than a missing journal. Yeah, me too. Time to turn over a few rocks and see what crawls out. I'm leaving the OCI key in the safe. Code is 4815. Okay. 4815, I'm going to take all your bypass chance. I can't check your computer. That's another thing. Oh, hello. I'm just in here. Hi, fella. I didn't think someone would be in here. I didn't even notice you. Okay, we have a preserved eye. Mostly intact. Carefully preserved eyeball. Alright. That might be useful. It might not be.
Hey, Marvel. Oh, wait. Nope, that's a human eyeball.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
Well, we can probably use it to unlock some kind of optical biometric sensor, I'm assuming. And I'll take the rest of your shit. You have a good day, sir. Well, that would be the code to access the key to access OCI. Got it. Anyone know someone called Leonora or Roscoe? Roscoe Clanton.
Wonder if they could... Ah, who am I kidding?
I might be exactly who you're expecting.
Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system.
Don't Sublight come in
you're welcome
to and from here? That's okay.
Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook.
Well, you know, they don't send complete novices to dive bars in the arse end of nowhere. I've talked to her. She mentioned you were some kind of journalist.
Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Then do elaborate, sir.
Got into reporting thinking I was going to be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit.
Sounds comfy, actually. I don't know. Seems like you're having a rough time. I can't help him up because I'm not perceptive enough. How did a Byzantium journalist end up stuck in this backwater? What can you tell me about Gorgon? Alright, how did a Byzantium journalist like you end up stuck in this shithole?
When the project fell apart, Spacer's Choice refused to extract me. They left me here to rot. Listen, I hate asking for handouts, but my back's against the wall here. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
Helping out old bastards is 80% of my job. What do you need?
The other 20% is ordering me around.
That's correct, Felix. Well done.
I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone.
Why's that?
Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said.
You hid them, and now you need me to get them for you. That about cover it?
Right on the money.
Intelligence.
I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around the edges.
You have no idea.
Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here.
Why stash the recordings?
Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was.
Burying pirate treasure. Okay, so this is a go pick up a whole bunch of shit mission. And you mentioned an assistant. Where are they now?
Oh, Georgie? Yeah, she helped me with interviews. A real whiz with the portable recorder tech, too. When things got crazy, I shoved her onto the last ship off Gorgon. With any luck, she's safe and comfortable in Byzantium. She tried every which way to stay, but it was my contract keeping us here, not hers. Didn't seem fair she'd have to suffer just because I made a bad deal.
Okay, well that's nice of you. Why not just forget the contract and leave?
Oh, I've tried. Make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with Sublight folks.
So you can get off and you have tried.
Always send me right back. And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract.
Okay, it's your lucky day. I'm feeling generous, and also I want to find these recordings and probably listen to them if that's not so much of a problem for you. Let's do this.
Shit? That's downright civilized of you.
Well, I'm a civilized kind of person.
One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incubation. In the
OCI.
projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Seems like a good idea at the time.
Okay,
Someone had started
none.
a fire, folks were shooting other folks. It was a madhouse.
Okay, got it. Next.
You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room.
You ran all over Gorgon just to hide your recordings. Okay, let's just move on. Easy enough. The others?
The final one is in human inquiry and auditing. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room B.
The observation room? Wouldn't someone have seen you?
What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant.
Point. Alright, got it. I'll be back.
Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
Strength to my sword arm. I like that turn of phrase. Okay, it did write down where everything was, but that's cool.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse.
Alright, we got a side mission, and now I've got to find the other side mission we have to do with what's-her-face. There you go, Leonora.
I love this place.
Hello, Lex sent me up to talk with you. How's things? Do you have a side mission for me?
You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type.
What does salvagers look
You've got
like?
the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far from over.
And seen things. Too many things to fully process them all, I say, hopefully sarcastically.
You and me both. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the marauders would eat me alive.
Wow, blunt, but fair enough. Sure, yeah, what do you need?
Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress.
This something must be... Sublight wouldn't turn over a rock unless there was salvage underneath it.
Well put. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times.
There were good
Jerome was
times?
on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled.
Do you know anything juicy about Project Gorgon?
That was above my pay grade. But it didn't take a genius to figure out the higher-ups were working on something big.
Yeah, I've already
Months
got
after
that.
I got out, I saw the advertisements for Adrena Time.
Is it just Adrena Time? It's got to be more than that.
This is it, Leonora. It was all for this.
Where's Jerome now?
Nowhere good. That's for sure. In his
Do you want me to find
final
him?
hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a
hills
leisurely
were
stroll
alive.
without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won.
Oh, he got off.
As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind.
Okay, no, he didn't get
Never saw
off.
him again.
Sorry, it's just that she was here. Don't scoff. So I'm presuming, let me guess, now you're here to find him? It seems a little, rude. So, she got off and then came back. He stayed, and he's nowhere to be found. Well, that was very noble of him.
That Jerome always chose the right thing, even when it got him killed. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract. And he
A hip
carried
flask.
it wherever
Very
he
romantic.
went. I know it's still here.
What do you think happened to him?
No point in denying it. He died on this rock. Likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms. I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know I have to accept it.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it.
You'd really do that for me? Law. And I'll bet you're worth 10 of those Sublight sprats. I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to
All
drink
right.
with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first.
I wanted to ask you something first.
Yeah?
Do I have anything left to say to her? Did you know Lucky Montoya?
That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure.
I wonder.
He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think anyone could be lonelier than me.
That's lovely. Did he mention... I'm really interested in the Gorgon research facility. I don't know if you can tell.
He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in
The
one of
eyeball.
old buildings. I never saw it, so I just assumed he was talking himself up. He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy he kept in his room, but I declined, politely.
Was he depressed?
He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a way.
Alright, thank you. Thanks for all your
And
time.
My condolences if you two were close.
Not really. Tell me about your time on Gorgon.
The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path, including me.
That's a lovely turn of phrase, Leonora Diallo. Thank you for that. I won't even steal your stuff. Okay. So far we know... Well, we've got some side missions to do. We know that some bullshit was going on with the research facility, but we knew that from the start. But we can get into the OCI, and with the eyeball we pulled out of a safe. And that should get us somewhere. So what I'll do is probably poke around at those side missions, whatever's convenient, and pretty soon head to OCI and see what's going on